Which player has been traded most times in NBA history? Full list revealed. The NBA is a league built on movement. Superstars change teams, role players bounce around the league, and front offices constantly reshuffle rosters in pursuit of the next championship window. But while fans often focus on blockbuster trades involving MVPs and All-Stars, there's a lesser-known corner of NBA history that raises a fascinating question. Which player has actually been traded the most times in league history? The answer may surprise you, and the full list reveals just how unpredictable an NBA career can be. When we talk about trades, it's easy to think of stars forcing their way out or franchises making headline-grabbing deals. In reality, the players who rack up the most trades are often journeymen, veterans on expiring contracts, or useful role players who fit neatly into salary matching equations. Their value isn't always about star power, it's about flexibility. At the very top of the list sits Luke Ridner, a name many casual fans may vaguely recognize, but few realize just how often he packed his bags. Ridner holds the record for most trades in NBA history, having been traded 8 times during his career. Even more incredible, some of those trades happened within the same off-season, making his experience one of the wildest logistical journeys the league has ever seen. Ridner wasn't a bad player, far from it. He was a solid point guard who could shoot, pass, and run an offense in short stretches. That reliability made him attractive to teams looking for depth, but it also turned him into a frequent trade chip. At one point, Ridner was traded 4 times in just 6 days, a stretch that perfectly encapsulates how transactional the business side of basketball can be. Right behind Ridner is Ish Smith, another guard whose NBA passport is absolutely loaded. Smith has been traded 7 times and has played for more franchises than almost anyone in league history. His speed, professionalism, and ability to step into chaotic situations made him a favorite among rebuilding teams and contenders alike. What's fascinating about Ish Smith's journey is that despite the constant movement, he carved out a long and respectable career. He wasn't a star, but he stayed in the league because coaches trusted him. That's a recurring theme among players on this list. Adaptability often matters more than dominance. Another name that frequently comes up is Tony Massenburg, who was traded 7 times and played for a staggering 12 different NBA teams. Massenburg's career is often cited as the gold standard for journeyman big men. He did a little bit of everything, rebounded, defended, set screens, and never complained about his role. That made him valuable, but also easily movable. Then there's Jim Jackson, a former high draft pick whose career took a very different path than originally expected. Jackson was traded 6 times and played for 12 teams as well. While his early years showed real promise, constant movement prevented him from settling into a long-term role with one franchise. His story highlights how even talented players can get caught in the churn of NBA transactions. Several other players sit in the 5 to 6 trade range, including names like Chucky Brown, Trevor Ariza, and Matt Barnes. These players weren't just fillers, they were rotation pieces, playoff contributors, and sometimes even starters. But their versatility made them prime candidates for trades when teams needed a specific skill set or salary match. Trevor Ariza is especially interesting. Despite being traded multiple times, he played meaningful minutes on championship-caliber teams and was a crucial piece of the Lakers' 2009 title run. His case proves that being traded often doesn't mean a player failed, it often means they're useful in many different contexts. So why do some players get traded so much more than others? The answer comes down to 3 main factors: contract structure, skill versatility, and timing. Players on mid-sized contracts are easier to move. Players who can adapt to different systems are safer bets for new teams. And players who happen to peak or become available during chaotic trade periods often find themselves included in multiple deals. It's also important to remember that being traded isn't always a negative reflection on the player. In many cases, it means teams believe that player has value. Front offices don't trade for players they think can't help them. That said, the emotional toll can be real. Constantly changing cities, teammates, and roles takes a mental and physical toll that fans rarely see. For every viral trade alert, there's a family relocating, routines being disrupted, and a player starting over from scratch yet again. Compared to today's superstar-driven trade era, many of these record-holding trade journeys happened quietly. Social media wasn't amplifying every move, and fans didn't track transactions in real time the way they do now. If Luke Ridner's 4 trades in 6-day stretch happened today, it would dominate NBA Twitter for weeks. Interestingly, modern stars are unlikely to ever challenge these records. Franchise players today are either kept long-term or moved once in massive, career-altering deals. The era of being traded 8 or 9 times is far more common among role players than superstars. In the end, The list of most traded NBA players offers a different way to look at success. Not every great career is defined by loyalty to one franchise or championship banners hanging in one arena. Some careers are defined by survival, adaptability, and longevity in the most competitive basketball league in the world. So the next time a trade breaks and a familiar name pops up again, remember, being traded might not mean a player is unwanted. Sometimes, it means they're exactly what everyone wants.